Alright, you guys, so we got done the other day putting whatever we had left on this side by side to put on that we could do, but then it got late on me, so I kind of stopped. And then yesterday I got my brake calipers in, so you guys will see a video on that. I'm going to do that one just separate, just based on real quick how to do the brake calipers on the front of the 2015 Kawasaki Teryx 800 here. But let's get to the topic. So I'm over here cleaning up, the side by side. I saw a bunch of bolts laying around, and I'm like, I might as well start collecting everything and seeing what's left and what doesn't have any bolts, what bolts I might need. Basically, I'm like, let me just kind of look through and see what's going on. Remember how we found that little timing guide? So we found the timing guide, right? And the timing guide was like somewhere on the passenger seat. So I was like, alright, that's kind of weird. I didn't even think to open it up until afterwards, and then I'm like, I'm gonna open it up. I found out where it goes. I'm like, dude, it's missing it. This is the one that goes in here. So then what happened is pretty much I'm like, alright, let me collect everything around here and see what else we got going on to see if we have anything that's missing, right? So then I found this. It is a circlip from a piston, you guys. Like, guaranteed. You know what I mean? And I'm like, what the hell do I do? So now, me being extra, I guess you could say, or just thinking about it way too much, I slept through it last night, and after finding that timing guide, I think we're gonna just tear down the top end, you guys, and see how it is. That way we can make sure everything's done good. I think the only one that was taken off was the front one, but regardless, I'm just gonna take off both the front and the back. I'm just gonna go down to the pistons. If I need to get pistons, I'm gonna replace the pistons. I'm gonna replace the head gaskets. And you know what, overall I think it's gonna be better. The guy had said originally that it had gotten rebuilt, but I mean, it still could have gotten rebuilt. I could tear it down. Worst case scenario, I'm gonna need like some $30 gaskets, put it back together, and it's a wrap. At least I could be like, okay, everything's there, I went through it. I don't really trust people's word, but at the same time, I'm like, they were the last owners. I'm gonna go by it until I see something that doesn't add up, like if they're sketchy or something. And then I'm going to show you guys something else that I had found on it too that I kind of thought was weird, but regardless, we'll see what happens. But yeah, so I found the clip. This clip, I found it on the other side on the passenger's floor, and what I thought looked to be like the top one, the front, looked like it got taken apart, right? So I'm like, alright, I'm probably going to tear this thing down. Which, I'd rather do it here instead of taking it, putting it all the way back together, figuring out that stuff is really messed up, and then me having to take it all apart again. So that's what I'm going to do. But also what I have found on this thing, you guys, so let's go around here. Let's see. I don't know if you guys can tell, but that's not factory welds. Like, see that? That's a factory weld. See this? This is all fudged up. Like, bad. Even down here. Like, tell me those welds are OEM, not OEM, but factory, I guess. That's crazy. I don't know how I didn't notice this, you guys. Like, that's pretty bad. You know what I mean? At this point, I think, you guys, I'm leaning more towards keeping it just because I wouldn't want to sell it to somebody, and if I do sell it to anybody, I guess I'm going to basically tell them out front like what it is. But then again, I don't think I'm going to make a lot of money off of it. Yeah, she's a rough one, you guys. But anyways, sorry for rambling on. I'm going to get to this video and we are going to start tearing this thing down tonight. Alright, all you're really going to need is going to be a 10mm and a 8mm to take off pretty much all these top ones here. So I almost forgot, you guys, after taking off the valve covers, there's actually two little bolts in the center of where you do the valve adjustment right here. There's a little screw also, and that's what's giving us the headache from taking these off. Top, front, and back. And now we gotta take these cams out. We're gonna start by taking off this one. And you can see that it's loose. That's not good. Bring it over the side. And use zip tie for this. I'm not even sure if this. Alright, so we're right here. I took off the water pump cover, then there's the thermostat cover, then there's the thermostat, and then there's the Allen wrench that's right here. So that we can take that off. That should let us pull this out off to the side, and I might undo all these little, well, this hose, yeah. Wiring out the way. Okay, it looks like the only thing really holding on the head is the four head bolts. So let's take those off. I think they look like a size 15. Hey you guys, these are actually aftermarket heads. Or not heads. The jugs. the cylinders here. I'll show you guys in a bit, but oh geez. That should be loose. I told you guys I could feel it getting loose when I need to. And it was already like ready to come out. There we go. Had to pull the zip tie through. Here's that guide I told you guys I had found. Alright, I'm gonna take off this one now. I'm just really curious as to how this comes off. I might actually come back tomorrow and do this one, but here I'll show you guys what I'm talking about. Forgot what brand the M is. M or W? There we go. That's the brand. But yeah, I'm pretty sure, no wonder they had like a different coat color to them. But yeah, so this is where we're at, you guys. Got that one all out. I haven't even looked in there. Wow, looks pretty clean to me. Very smooth. Very smooth. So they almost, I honestly almost want to believe the guy now. That's very nice in there. Like they were just honed out maybe. But alright you guys, I won't put this in a part 2, but this is as far as we got right now. So tomorrow, I'm probably just going to figure out how to take off that one. And then we can take off the cylinders on camera, and then I'll show you guys exactly see what I see. So it's looking good, you guys. It's not looking bad. The cylinders do look pretty decent, as in this one. So I can't wait till tomorrow to look at that one. But this is kind of weird to me, so I don't know if I have to take off this cover. Oh, please, baby Jesus, I hope not. Let's see, we will find out if this is going to be easy or turn into a huge headache. But we'll get back to it tomorrow, but I'm calling it for a night. See you guys tomorrow. Peace. Alright, you guys, sorry my camera died, but ended up changing the battery in the SD card. So I ended up taking the cylinder off on this side. It had 3 bolts, 2 right here and 1 over here, and then it easily slid out. The good news is the piston does not look to be OEM, as in good news, I mean they have replaced it recently. It's not the greatest, but who knows. I'm going to check one of the piston rings though, and check it with the gap to the cylinder and see how bad that is. Alright you guys, now we're on to the other side. So I did end up finding out that there was a tensioner here, and it has just 2 bolts like a regular tensioner. Now this is a little bit looser so I can get it out. And we're going to put a zip tie in this one. And we're going to start loosening up these head bolts. Well, let's take a look at this. First we got to take this one off. Again, I think it's the same thing. The 2 8mm bolts here. And the one on the side. I guess it wasn't that bad, just because, I mean, everything else was already off, so. I don't know if it was when my camera cut off, but I was pretty much saying that. Oh, there we go. That kind of weird because the crank feels kind of funny. Oh yeah, this piston looks way worse than that other one. But This is my concern. Like, the crank feels kind of weird, you know what I mean? I don't know how to really explain it, but I guess like just stiff in a way. Oh yeah, this one's loose too, I think. I'm trying to get it up though. Yeah, you guys, I think this crank is bad. I can't even get it to go down. Alright you guys, so we got everything off, but as you can see, you can look at the other side and it's like there's no, I know they're supposed to move together obviously, but they're stiff as hell, so that's not good. This is the front. As you can see, the gap in the piston ring, that's not good. So just like how I suspected, this is the one that I had found on the floor. This is the front piston. It has no circlip on this side, and obviously no circlip on this side. So that would have been a catastrophe. And then also these have a lot of carbon buildup, like a ton. Like look at this is the front head. And actually this is the back, and this one had both the clips, but look at the piston too. Like it definitely was getting a little shredded up in there, you think. The cylinders look smooth, but they could still not be in spec. You know what I mean? That doesn't look good either right there. And then this is the back one. So some more carbon buildup there. So this thing definitely has seen better days. It's gotten roughed up for sure. I'm gonna check pricing real quick, you guys, and we're gonna see what we should do. I'm gonna look up the specs for this cylinder and then check it and then see how much the ring gap is supposed to be. But right now I think I measured it and it was like a whole total 1.05 millimeters, which is not great at all, so I doubt that thing's good. So it looks like we're probably going to be doing a full engine rebuild on the Kawasaki. Oh god. What I didn't want to do after I had to manhandle it in here, and even had to get my brother-in-law to help. We might be splitting the cases, but you never know. I'm going to keep looking further into this and see what we find. I'll get back with you guys though. Alright you guys, so I'm trying to see if I could save this crank. What I'm thinking also, this thing was sitting for, see this one's a little loose. Holy crap, that's bright. Alright, so hopefully you guys can see in there pretty good. So as you can see, the bottom, the one closer to the top is a little bit loose now, but the top one is still pretty damn stiff. Whole thing moves. So what I'm thinking is, the guy had told me that he had it for a year and all it did was sit outside of his house, literally. Like how you guys saw it, that's how it sat outside. So that's how it sat outside for a whole year, and who knows before that at the Arizona outdoor place, if they, you know, how long they had it sitting there, because clearly it was broken down, and this is one of their like most beat up ones, I guarantee it. So they were like, screw that, we're not gonna even fix that one, let's just put it aside. Eventually came the time where they were selling them. Somebody bought this one. So I don't know if I told you guys, the guy originally bought it for $1,000. So I paid $2,000 for this. If you guys didn't know, now you know. I spilled the beans. It doesn't matter to me, I guess, that much anymore. Either way, these videos will be up pretty late after it's probably done and gone. But yeah, I paid $2,000 for it. I didn't think it was a bad deal until I started looking really into it. Now that the crank might be bad, that is obviously the worst and biggest disappointment when buying something and hoping that it's not gonna be fucked up. But obviously it is, so oh well. I put some WD-40 on it, and I put some of the Marvel's red mystery oil. That stuff is great, if you guys didn't know. I usually put it in like seized engines. I put some down through the spark plug hole, let it sit for a while, and sometimes it does its stuff, you know, and it works. But yeah, in this case, oh well, I'm gonna let it sit overnight. As you guys can see, one of them is a little loose. They were real stiff, so that was the main problem. No wonder when I first took off the cap off the side and I was trying to turn it by hand with the ratchet, it was very stiff, very stiff. Maybe I should have gave it a couple more turns while everything was together and seen if it would have broke free. But if it was gonna break free, it was gonna break free. If not, it was gonna need a new crank. I'm thinking maybe I can get the new crank rods and the bearings, and seeing if I could do it without taking it apart, which I highly doubt, but we'll see what happens, I guess. But yeah, we'll figure this thing out, and yeah, I guess we'll see what happens. I'm gonna let it sit overnight. So this is day 2. Took off pretty much the cylinder, both cylinders, both pistons, the other head. We got down to, you know, a little bit figuring out about the crank. I'm gonna go ahead and do some research on how much a whole crank would be, how much the crank rods would be, and then I want to look up cylinder specs. So I'm gonna do some studying tonight, and meanwhile we'll let that sit, and then we'll probably get back to the video tomorrow. Real quick, you guys, before I decided to call it a night, I wanted to figure out the whole plastic situation because it's been getting on my nerves. So I kind of figured out it's rough, so, but at least I know they go there. So I found the front one. There's this back one that goes all the way through the middle. The middle one, the seat goes there, and I believe that's open. If not, there's a metal piece that's right here that I have, so we could put that there. Here's one of the bottom seats, which goes on that one. There's a whole seat which goes on the front, I assume. And then we ended up finding the back one here, and then this one, it didn't take it off, so then that's open for the gas tank. The other door is here, so I think we should be good, you guys. The only thing I'm really worried about, just trying to see what else I find, the only thing I'm really worried about is right here. It's supposed to take like a metal shield. I don't have that, so I'm gonna have to look for that. If not, maybe I can make one somehow. We'll see. But at least we got this situation addressed. All the plastics are there, because that was another worry, that I was gonna hunt down plastics. And then there's that bar that goes right here. I have that, but it's under there, so that's good. I think that's just like a grab bar. Oh yeah, I spilled a shit ton of oil. Look, you guys, it was bad. Don't even remind me. My floor is like so messed up, you guys. Look at this. Like, this floor is trashed. Like, ridiculous. I think I'm gonna make a video of me just cleaning the floor. I have a pressure washer. I just need to get to doing it, but there's so much to do. But yeah, you guys, alright, now we're gonna cut out. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Hopefully we can get more done in the afternoon. Should be home around 3, and then we can get back on this thing. Hopefully the crank will be fine and we won't have to order one, but I'm gonna still do some homework tonight, so I'll figure it out, you guys. But stay tuned. Peace.